So let me just pin. Hi. So I'm going to, I just started recording. Thank you, ladies, for jumping on. It's great to have you here. Please send a message out to anybody that you've invited that you don't see here and you want them to join us. Please, you still have some time. If you have any questions, you are more than welcome to put those questions in the chat and we will open up to have question and answers afterwards. But we want to get through this presentation. We are sharing an amazing technology with all of you. And I think you know this, or some of you know it, and some of you might be brand new and you don't know all about this, but we will be sharing the amazing things that this is doing. It's very much a high level presentation. And then we do high level opportunity around this product. Because, you know, not everybody's open to the opportunity. Some of us are, and we're excited about it. But if you're here for the first time and you're just checking the product out, you're more than welcome to stay on. We're not going to place you under any obligation to do anything else. Get all the information you want and get back with the person that invited you to ask all your questions. But I do have a wonderful co-host today. I'm so excited to have Annette Arsenault share with us. So she's a wonderful sister in the Lord. I love her to bits. And we are also, we've been partnering in this business. Wow, it's a number of years, Annette. I think it was September 23 or August 23. So 2 years,
Yeah.
exact. So we're celebrating our second birthday. And that Annette and I have been walking this journey together, and she's building a really big team, super excited about the growth that is happening for Annette and Robert in this business. And you know what the great thing is? She has a lot more information about this than I do because her background, she's a functional medicine coach. And if I've got that the wrong way around, you can correct me. But, you know, Annette has great insights here, which I don't have, my background being law. So, Annette, I've made you co-host and I'm going to say, take it away. You can start sharing your screen and start sharing with us.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, welcome everybody. For those of you that are new, I am, like, again, Annette Arsenault. I am a functional medicine health coach, and I am super excited to be able to share with you, very honored to be able to share with you today. Let me bring up my screen here and we'll get started. Let's start there. Okay, everything good? Everybody can see the slides?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I will start out with letting you know, like, my testimony, because I really, like I said, was super excited about, I'm one of those people that was excited about the product and really wanted to share it with a ton of people right away, before I even had it on my body. I actually went to the first conference the day after I got in because I wanted to know more and was super excited about it. But I realized, wasn't really thinking a lot about what it would do for me. So what it did do was I had had a car accident probably 4 or 5 years prior to, was about 4 years. And then prior to that, I had had an accident where I lost some toes in a lawnmower accident, whole nother story, but, and had a surgery. So from the car accident, I had burning, super uncomfortable burning in the middle of my back, in my muscles, ligament damage in my neck. So just uncomfortable all the time, just kind of a constant uncomfortable feeling on a regular basis that made me fidgety because I could never be comfortable sitting, standing for long periods of time. Just kind of started to live like that, didn't realize it. The surgery, I ended up waking up with vertigo and a ticking in my right ear, as well as I had obviously some nerve damage and nerve rerouting that was happening. So it made my leg cramp up. You know, you stand up and you rub a cramp out of your leg and it usually goes away in a few seconds. Well, this did not go away in a few seconds. It was very painful. It was very scary on a couple of occasions because it did not feel like it was going to stop. And I don't do medication and stuff like that. So I was really concerned because I never knew when it was going to actually happen. So all of that being said, like within the first week, the muscle burning pain and stuff in the middle of my back, that stopped. Became really, everything calmed down in that arena, and I've not really had it come back since. It took about 4 or 5 months, and I noticed that the other things, the vertigo, because that had ramped up and was actually happening more often in early 2023. But like I said, 4 or 5 months in, it started to slow down. I noticed I wasn't happening as much. And now it's been nearly a year and a half. And I have zero vertigo, zero nerve pain in my leg. I did the test. I went on a big circular slide and stuff with my grandson at on a cruise, and we did all this stuff. And that was kind of my test, because I love to do that kind of stuff, but couldn't, because I never knew if vertigo was going to happen, and it just wrecks my day, because like I'm done for a while if it ramps up. So super excited about that. I got to get on a big roller coaster next. That's going to be my next test, but I'm like super excited that I can do that. So all that being said, have you been packing? And let's, and if you haven't, like I said, I recommend that you get back to the person that invited you here today, so that you can start to experience some of the same things that I did, and so many other people, hundreds and thousands of people that have experienced results from this technology. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. So David Schmidt is the inventor and the CEO of this company, of LifeWave. He has over 200 patents, scientist, inventor, which that in and of itself is very extraordinary. Really puts him one of the top scientific minds of our history due to that fact alone. Specializing in age reversing, so regenerative science. So that's incredible too. Company basically started in around 2004. He was working with the government on a project, the stem cell, or the phototherapy type technology, this patch technology kind of came into existence about that time. But then in 2008, he refocused his attention, because all the stem cell technology came out, started to realize all the things that can be accomplished by that. So he took all the information out there that was available and figured out the frequency to put in this patch to elevate a GHK copper peptide in our blood that reactivates and regenerates our own stem cells, which is super significant. If you really understand what some stem cell activity is and what it does for us, we all need it. And it's such a big deal that we don't even understand, because we've really never been taught about our own bodies and how they work. It's really such a big deal. So in 2008, he refocused his attention on that. So 10 years, $4.5 million later, this comes to market. This is the patent, one of the patents on it. He's, like I said, got multiple ones, but in specifically, as you can see, it says embodiments as a result of elevating copper peptide, including activation of stem cells, improvements in energy, elevation of antioxidants. And I like to keep reading, because it also says reduction in inflammation, which is huge, management of pain, improvements in stamina, elevation of collagen production, which I love, beyond hair, skin, and nails, because there's a whole lot more to that. And then improved wound healing. I'm going to show you a picture a little bit later, kind of a little bit about that. So why this stem cell technology as opposed to something else? Stem cell technology is what helps us heal. So as we get older, as many things start to diminish and break down, this is one of the things that actually happens too. Our stem cell activity basically slows down, and they go dormant, and we have less of that activity, which we know we need. Obviously we're healing faster when we're younger as opposed to when we get older. We all realize that. So nobody is escaping this aging process. Nobody. So, and then what we know now is in our 30s, half of your stem cells they're basically going dormant and not working for us like they used to. And then by the age of 60, which I'm almost there, we have maybe 5 to 10% working for us well. So that's why we don't heal as well, and a lot of things diminish, and that creates a problem, especially if you've got other ailments or sicknesses that have accumulated, or that you have up until that point. Your body's just always working and it can't quite get there. So you're giving it extra tools to actually do that healing that it needs and actually get it done, because sometimes it just can't happen. You just don't have enough activity for it to happen. So how does this work? It's a proprietary form of phototherapy. And like my favorite example of phototherapy is the sun. We go out in the sun to get what? Vitamin D. The sun hits our skin at a particular frequency. When it hits our skin, that frequency communicates with our brain, tells our body to elevate a cholesterol in our blood, and that starts the process of our body making vitamin D, which is the only vitamin that our body actually makes. It's actually literally a hormone, but that's incredible in and of itself. So this basically works the same way. It's a patented nanocrystal technology, which just means small, tiny crystals of salt, sugars, amino acids, what he put in there, arranged in a particular frequency that reflects light. When you put it on your skin, it reflects your body's own heat, light signature back into your body, just like the sun hitting goes into the body, communicates with the brain, tells it to elevate that GHK copper peptide in our blood, and then that will start to reactivate stem cells. That's where the science comes in that we know of. That was actually what we knew prior to David Schmidt even that information about if we could elevate that in our blood was out there in the 70s by another doctor and scientist that discovered that peptide. So it's non-transdermal. It's not putting anything in our body. It's literally that transaction, just like the sun hitting our skin. It's just our transaction that starts the process of waking up and regenerating, reactivating our own stem cells. Super exciting. So no drugs, chemicals, which is amazing because I do work with a lot of people. That's one of their first questions when we do anything, even with supplements. Is it going to interfere with my medication? So if you are on any, you don't need to worry because it's not going to interact with that. And obviously it's non-invasive. You're sticking a sticker on your skin. It's super simple, super simple. So what are some of the major benefits of this? These are kind of across the board. I would say anybody that's on here that's been wearing it for probably more than 3 to 6 months has probably experienced all this. I know I have. So increased strength, reduced inflammation, increased stamina, energy and vitality. Mental clarity is huge. It seems like everybody's got brain fog these days, and they say that's just a byproduct of getting older. It really shouldn't be, but because of the toxic soup that we live in these days, a lot of people are experiencing that for a whole host of different reasons. So this can help across the board. We're going to talk about that in a minute as to how it helps and why. But restored muscle and skeletal condition, I've experienced so much of that with my accident. I had 2 knee surgeries as well. So some help in that arena. Improvement in sleep, that's a big deal too, because if you don't sleep, your body doesn't have that time to repair and regenerate and really be able to function the way that it's meant to. You know, we're meant to sleep well so our bodies are completely at rest and it can do all its repair work where our bodies are not moving. And then, of course, improved skin appearance, which is amazing. We all love that as women, of course, the hair, skin, and nails side of that. So here's one of the studies that they did. This is a topography map of a 77-year-old woman. There's a bigger study that you can look at if you like. But session 1 was her brain on that scan. The red is all the inflammation in her brain. Her brain was hyperactive, just lack of brain coherence. So they put the patch on the back of her neck, C7, where it shows for the clinical trials. 3 weeks later, session 2, you can see that all that red is gone. And then another 3 weeks, so 6 weeks total, it's completely balanced. Everything, all that cool colors and stuff, the inflammation is gone. And what we do know, obviously, is if you've got inflammation in your brain, whatever it was that's causing that kind of inflammation, you're likely to have it throughout your body. And there are multiple things, more so than ever before, the things that we know, inflammation in the brain, if you can bring that down, what it can help with. We've got dementia, Alzheimer's, MS, Parkinson's, all those different things where you experience that inflammation in your brain. So when you can give your body, again, the tools that it needs to help bring that down, you can have health improvement, lifestyle, your everyday can get better. So that's really an amazing thing. So some of the long-term effects that the case studies and all that have shown, in the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. That in and of itself, a lot of people don't really know what that means. And it took me a little bit, I kind of started to think about that a little bit more. Because in our bodies, that's like a third or maybe a little less of a third of our gene pool altogether. And genes can be flipped on due to toxicity to sick. They can be flipped over to sickness. So when you can reset, when you think about that, this is my process, my brain and my functional medicine brain. If you can reset those, you can help your body not be sick. So that's an amazing thing in and of itself, but that begins to happen. So that speaks to longevity of the recommendation of wearing this 1 month, bare minimum. I say bare minimum, 1 month for every decade that you've been alive. So if you're almost 60, you should wear it at least 6 months to start to really give your body the chance. I will never not wear it because I've been wearing it for almost 2 years now. So it's just a done deal. So within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced. We saw that study. That's awesome. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. Just a little bit about that tidbit, because collagen is throughout our body. We're basically strung together with collagen. So as we age, we feel things get weaker. Sometimes we stop doing certain things because we feel like we can't stand up again. Eyesight can get worse. Your cornea, are 90+% collagen. So when you can give your body extra collagen production back, people's eyesight can improve for that reason. It's not that, like I said, this product, the company does not declare that it can heal, cure, prevent any disease, but we do know scientifically when you give your body this activity, there's a whole host of things that can start to happen, and that happens to be one of them. If you can increase collagen, your body can be stronger. We're strung together, ligaments, tendons, even the lining of your arteries, blood vessels, that's all collagen. So like I said, if it's diminishing, if we can give it back, heart health, that, which is that last one there, within 6 months, heart reverses in age, meaning your cardiovascular health improved on average a reversal of 8 years. That is super significant just doing something like this. And if you're not changing anything else, obviously, I always recommend that you're doing all the health things. Let's health stack and do all the good things that we can do, but one step at a time. This is the most fabulous place to start, is do this and then start adding on to that. Once you start to feel better, sleep better, better energy, the brain the fog clears up, then you feel like doing more of the things that you should do and really want to do. And that's why I find it so incredible, because it really gives you that opportunity to live a better life and do the things you really want to do. So as he says, it's not anti-aging, but reverse aging. And who doesn't want to do that? I sure do. So how do we wear it? It's you put the patch on 12 hours on, 12 hours off. The reason we do that is because we don't want that transaction happen all the time. Same reason why we don't want to eat dinner late at night and have our body digesting food while we're sleeping. We want our bodies to rest. So that's why it's the 12-hour on, 12 hours off. Take it off, throw it away, then put a new one on the next day, because it comes in a sleeve of 30. A sleeve is a little envelope where we get 30 of them, one for every day of the month. Put that new one on and just repeat every day. If you need to set an alarm or put it in the bathroom where you get ready, brush your teeth in the morning, at night, then you can, to remind yourself. It takes a little bit of time to develop a habit, but it's a habit well worth developing. That's for sure. You can wear more than one at a time. David Schmidt recommends you start with the X39 and just see what it does. And I, the same way too, because I'm like, why do more than you have to? I kind of feel the same way about supplements and different things like that. Do what you need, not more than what you need. And you definitely need to start with X39. But one of the biggest things is drink plenty of water. And that's not just water, but that's water with mineral content. We find that we are very depleted in minerals these days, because it's not in our water, because we have to filter it like crazy. It's not in our food as much as it used to be. So you need to add in electrolytes, use Celtic sea salt, pink salt, put it on everything, because you need extra. In my arena, we do find that people are sorely, sorely dehydrated. It's mineral content. It's not just drinking water, because sometimes you can drink water all day and you still feel like you're thirsty, or that's because you're not getting enough mineral content. So definitely add that. I recommend that across the board. Anything that you do health-wise is just going to be better when you're well hydrated. It's just necessary. And it's just one of those things that we need to do. So get the water content in as well. Let's see, where are we going? Oh, this is one of the testimonies that I wanted to show you. This is Marty. I know this is a women's call, but it speaks to the wound healing. And when you're older, like, that is a gash that he had in his forehead. He had already been wearing the patch. He and his wife were taking a walk. He fell down and really hit his head drastically. You can see that that's kind of severe. And in 2 weeks, let me get to the next one. You can see that scar on his forehead. That's 2 weeks later. He is 84 years old here. So you can see that the wound healing properties of this is pretty incredible, because somebody that's that old does not typically heal that well. Now you cannot see that scar at all anymore, which is really, really incredible. It seems like a small thing, but that's another example. Like, obviously he didn't have this issue when he started wearing it, but because he was wearing it, something happened. And look what his body was able to do, because he already had this activity going on in his body. So it's not just a matter of what's going on now, what might happen that this is going to help my body deal with and recover from whatever. That's why another significant thing that I absolutely love. So the X39 is so sophisticated yet simple to explain. Testimonies are life-changing. Obviously, it was for me, because it took a lot of things away that I was dealing with on a regular basis. It prevented me from doing things. I couldn't go with my grandkids and go on rides and do different things. Now I can. So that gave me some part of my life back that I may not have otherwise been able to do. So, and the best thing about it is that it does work. And we know a lot of Obviously, it's 4 years of testimony. It's not even a question anymore. It's just a matter of when. Um, so those of you that are here, if you want to do a deep dive, all this information is on thisisitinfo.com. You can watch. I always recommend that people watch the first 3 videos. Take a look at the testimony tab that's on there. It'll give you an idea of, once you give your body this kind of activity, all of the things that are possible to happen for you. I like to show this slide because this is kind of like what that page looks like when you click on that testimonies tab. This slide, this shows you what that page looks like. So you can click on all those different topics: immune system, sleep, hearing, dialysis, stroke. There's all kinds of topics there. Take a look and listen. There's like 1 to 4, 5, 6 videos on each topic that you can listen to and watch and send to people too, because I know you all know people that have all those issues. Like, it's time for us to make sure that we are reaching out to people, because everybody's dealing with something, and they need to know that this is an option for them to add into their health protocol. And it's, like I said, so non-invasive. Anybody can do this, and it really can only help. Honestly, I can't imagine. It's only can help. So a little bit about LifeWave. Again, like we talked about before, it's a 20-year-old company. They're in now 80 countries plus. They're looking at other ones. So this is really exciting. They've got new stuff coming in Spanish-speaking countries. So that's exciting. It's not a Me Too product. Obviously, nobody else out there has this. I mean, I have looked at many other products out here specifically that are healthier in this arena. But, there's all kinds of other products just like them out there, or you can go to the store and get them. This is one of those things. Nobody has it. It's patented. Nobody has it. Only can get it through us. So the company being at around 20 to 30 million in early 2020, due to all the other products or whatever that they had. But when the X39 came out, literally in 4 years, they went from 20 million to over $600 million. We're slotted to over $1 billion, I believe, this year. So does it work? Yes, we have testimonies of the actual technology and what it does. But oh my gosh, you can't argue with these numbers. That's incredible. 4 years, just this product, and that's what has happened. Of course it works. The company itself has gotten many awards. This is per business for home. They kind of look at all the numbers and what these companies do, and they're rated the fastest in momentum, which typically doesn't happen with a company that's 20 years old. Those are usually startups. But because of this technology, because of how extraordinary it is, and because of David Schmidt and his commitment to what he's started here, and all of us that are super excited to share it with people, this is kind of what has happened, and it's exciting. Another company, they've got the Bravo Award, I believe, for the last 2 years. That is David Schmidt there on the left. The inventor is such an incredible, amazing human being for sure. The president of the company, Meredith Burkich there in the blue suit, and then Steve and Gina Merritt, that they help us with all of being able to share things like this. Simply, easily, to get the word out about how incredible this technology is and get this in. The company's goal is to get it into 1 billion homes, and we're all on board to help get that done. So I'm going to let Mena go ahead and continue from here. It was a pleasure being able to speak with all of you. And I hope that, and like I said, anybody that's on here knew that you go ahead and talk to the person that invited you. Because again, in my opinion, this is the best health hack out there that has come to date. And I really hope that you go ahead and get it on you. All right, Mena.
Thank you, Annette. That is absolutely wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for sharing. And, that just indicates that, we all are, and if you could tell me.
Yep, do you want me to stop sharing and you share yours?
Yeah, I am trying to share.
Okay, let me unshare.
Okay, there we go. So, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, good, good, good. Great job. And thank you, Annette. You see, I told you she can tell you a lot more things that I cannot tell you. But Greg and I have been involved with this as a team, which is the team that we're part of with the LifeWave company since September of 2022. So we're coming on 3 years, and honestly, everything that Annette has told you is truth and just such a blessing to so many people. You know, you heard her testimony, then you saw what's his name again, Annette?
Marty.
Marty. So, you know, the product is for everybody, and that's undeniable because we've seen so many testimonies. But, you know, I want to ask you, well, why are, you know, this is where we transition to the opportunity. Why are we taking time out of our day? You know, time is so precious, my time, your time, and I respect every single one of you and the time that you take to come and join us. But we have to share that there is an opportunity, you know, and David's whole mission, like Annette said, is to get this into 1 billion homes. So he's not paying to put a television ad on or put an ad in a magazine or on a big billboard. He's not doing any of that. He says word of mouth marketers get the word out better because you know what we experience? We're authentic, we're real, we're people of integrity, and we're going to tell it better than it is, right? So we have a great product. We have a great compensation plan as well. And so I'm going to ask every single one of you, if you look at this slide, what are the things, what are the words that stick out to you? Is it that you want more time with your family? What is it that you want out of life? More time to spend with the family? Or do you just want to be free 9 to 5? I was talking to a girl out of Guatemala. She's originally from Canada. And she said, you know what, I love what I do, but I live in such a touristy place. I want more time to enjoy my life. And I said, well, you're at the right place at the right time. Security. A lot of us are saying, well, you know what? Oh gosh, my bank balance is so low. What if this happens? What if that happens? If you could just have more money that you don't have to worry about that refrigerator breaking down, right? Or your washer not working anymore because you've got enough to go out there and just replace it. Travel. You know, do you want to be able to take more time off and stay a little longer instead of rushing there and rushing back? Better health. And Annette already spoke about what this is doing for people's health. But then, you know what? When you have a lot of debts, there's stress. What happens when you stress? Inflammation. And what happens with inflammation? Causes illness. So we like to say no debt. How about no debt? And so these are some of the things that I know some of you on here today have been able to achieve. You've been able to get less debt, better health. Some of you travel more like us. We've traveled we've had 7 free trips so far. Our next one is coming up to the Bahamas, which I'm hoping a lot of you are also going to be on that cruise with us. But yes, it's going to be free. And why not? And you're going to travel and you don't have to go back to your boss on Monday. So let's get freedom for all of you. And I love that about this opportunity. But you know, not everybody wants that. But what about the people that do? So don't keep it a secret. You know, if you know that this exists, go and share with the people because everybody has a different why. So how does this money get made? And I just want to minimize this. So how do we make the money? What does the compensation plan look like? It is a binary. And if you don't know what that means, buy bicycle to, and it's 2 legs. So you get started, you make a decision, you are the person at the top there, and you decide, you know what, I like what I see, I like what this product is able to do, and I'm going to share with 4 people that I love and that I like and that I know need it. So you go out there and you share with 4 people, and I like to tell people it's not always going to be your first 4. So just keep sharing until you have 4. You want to put 2 on the left and 2 on the right, okay? And they have to be at the core package or above, and you're going to allow yourself to earn on the binary. You're going to open up yourself to earn at this level. The max you can earn on the binary is $25,000 per week. It doesn't start there. It might be 100, 200, 300, and you go up as you share with more people and as those people begin to share. But maxing out at 25,000, I don't know anybody who said no. Don't worry, I don't need that much. No. When you have a lot, you can share a lot, right? And we all want to be a blessing to people. I was excited about the $25,000 a week, but this is a second way that you can earn. And this is the matching bonus, unlimited. We were maxed out on the binary, but we unlimited here. And you earn off your first, second, and third generation. So Greg and I spoke to Josh Josh is our first generation. Josh can max out on the binary at $25,000 a week. When he gets there, we are making 20, well, we will always make 25% off of whatever he does on his binary every week. And we're excited. The more money he makes, we're going to do 25% of that. Then Josh spoke to Annette, and Annette decided, you know what, I like this. And so she got started. She's second generation to us. So we're excited. The more money Annette is making on her binary, because we're getting 20%. Josh is excited. He's getting 25%. And then Annette shared with Dinah, and Dinah is third generation to us, first generation to Annette. Annette's going to get 25% of what she does. We get 20%. So no matter where your first, second, and third generation are on the binary, I mean, you could put a first generation person as the 68th person down on your left leg, and you're still making 25% off of that. And I believe that Andy is number 68 on Ken's right leg. And Andy's maxing, I believe. Ken is making 25% of that. Do you think Ken is saying, no, he's number 68? No, he's first generation. So that's Ken and Diana, by the way. So no matter where your first, second, and third generation appear on the left leg or the right leg, you are getting paid 25%, 20%, and 20%. And the other thing is, you have to stay active. You have to be ambitious. You have to be a person who is passionate about sharing. And honestly, don't, if you tell me you're not seeing any results financially, because your back office is not showing that, I'm going to ask you, show me your line of sponsorship. Show me how many people you have placed, because that's what Steve and Gina did with us. And they told us, you got to put 20 personals on your left and 20 personals on your right to start seeing something happen and some significant growth in your bank accounts. Now, this is what an order form looks like. We like to use it because you can carry it around. Okay, sometimes you don't have good internet signal, but you have these order forms on you, and you can quickly fill it out. And when you get in front of your computer, you can put it in. So this is what it looks like enlarged. I like to enlarge it because you can see the 3 different packages that we recommend for someone who says, you know what, I need to make an extra 500. I want to pay my car off. I want to pay my house off. I want to be debt free. $500 a week is going to help me get going and whittling away at that debt. So we are going to talk to you about a package. It is a one-time purchase. So you can only purchase core one time. If you purchase core, you can upgrade to advanced and then upgrade to premium. We decided premium was our package. And the reason for that is we were going to share with a lot of people. We wanted a lot of inventory. You can see this is how you get 20 of these when you buy a premium. So we wanted a lot to place with people and replace. So what we did is we got that package, and I said to Greg, we better make that money back straight away. And we went to work, and we actually achieved that in 2.5 weeks. We made our 1,750 back. In fact, we made $3,000 our first month. What did we do? Well, when we spoke to someone and they were interested, we signed them in with a package. It was either advanced, premium, or core. And we were paid the PIB. It is your upfront bonus money. It's a one-time payment. So if we signed up for premium, we were paid $405. If we signed up an advance, we were paid $75. And if we signed up a core, we were paid $35. So that all added up because we spoke to a number of people and we signed a number of people up. And we were like, wow, this has never happened in traditional business. I mean, my legal practice overheads are more than $1,750 a month. This is a no-brainer. If you want to be in business, this is the best way to get started. If you say, you know what, premium is a little, and by the way, just so that you know, you get these sleeves at a reduced price when you get the premium, okay? And the reduced price is $87.50. When you buy it at the core price, you're paying $99.95 per sleeve. So a little bit more. So you actually there's an incentive for purchasing more patches, more sleeves, okay? And then the other thing with the premium is you don't need to worry about being on a monthly subscription for 90 days. So you just focus on sharing, okay? Advance is for the person who says, you know what, I like what I see. I do want to talk to people, but I'm just not 100% sure. Okay, you can still get in and max out the comp plan, and you're going to get it also at a reduced price, $89 per sleeve per unit, and you can max out. Core is where you're not sure, you just wanted to feel it, experience it, you, your spouse, maybe someone else. I would say, okay, great way to get started. You can always upgrade, but do know you need to be on a monthly subscription, one sleeve to get started, and then you've got to upgrade to 2 sleeves, okay, if you really want to build this, because you're not going to, you're going to only be able to earn on the binary up to $100 a week. You can't go more than that. So you want to be able to max out the comp plan. So I would say 2 sleeve subscription, but get started. If you're like, hey, I'm just a customer, you can get it as a customer, but we usually say, find your place on the line of sponsorship, left leg or right leg, because you inevitably are going to share with someone. And every package comes with a money back guarantee. Annette shared beautifully on thisisatinfo.com, the website that has everything. So I'm not going to repeat that. Just know that we share that with everyone, a doctor as well as a stay-at-home mom. Everybody gets the same website. Thisisateam.com. If you are like me and Annette and Joyce and a few others on here, and you say, I love this, I'm part of this, I want to know everything that there is to know to share this. Thisisateam.com is a website. It was given to us. We did not pay any money for this. All we pay for is our start package. That's it. And our monthly subscription. Utilize this website. It is your tool. How to grow this business. Everything is there from A to Z. And you just need to duplicate what you've been told. The system is on that website. These Zooms, you'll see a lot of them here. And I'm just going to highlight a few. There's Zooms for people in Europe, South Africa, and UK. There's Zooms for people in Australia, New Zealand. Then there's Zooms for Spanish speaking only. There's Zooms for us in the US. There's our Zoom that we have on a Wednesday, or we have international Zooms on Monday. Then there is team training on Saturday. That is a no miss. You cannot miss the team training. You have to put that in your calendar. If you want to hit the ranks and learn how to get freedom, time, and money, you need to be on that training. And then every 3rd Saturday, there's Spanish training. Everything is recorded, so go subscribe. This is a team YouTube channel. You can watch things if you miss it. And then, we always like to say, if you're brand new on here and you have not started with a package, but you like what you see, then get back with the person who invited you. If you want more info, get back with the person that invited you. And if you're ready to go, get back with the person that invited you, because there is hope for your future. I have seen that. Annette has seen that. A lot of you on here have seen there is hope in sharing this. There is hope. There is hope in putting this patch on your body and choosing to do so. So get started with X39, and then just quickly some incentives, some more money on the table. If you're not a manager and you become a manager before the 31st of August, you're going to make an extra $100 or 95 euros. And your sponsor, the person that placed you in this organization, they will earn 50. And then that comes to an end, and then the Bahamas cruise. So who wants to go on a free cruise? Well, you want to know what you need to do to get there, right? So go and check your back office. I'm not going to go through all of this because I want to open up for some people who are going to share. But this cruise is going to take place 8th to 13th February. Go and print the tracker. That means you're already halfway there. put it on your refrigerator and see this every day and tell yourself, I am going. We are going. You don't want to go there alone. So we are going on this cruise and you will not miss it. So I'm going to stop sharing and I am going to ask Hilda to unmute, and I did see you. So remove the pin there. And Hilda, I would like Hilda to share. So Hilda attended convention, but she attended convention virtually. But I'd also like Hilda to share her journey and what she is experiencing with the patch. So Hilda, I think you're unmuted. You're more than welcome to start sharing.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sure.
Okay. Hi, Mena. It's so
Hey,
exciting to be on here and watch you guys, and to be involved in the women's meetings. And Rudy closed the door so he won't interrupt. But we were able to go virtual because we weren't able to go physically because of Rudy's condition, and we have to do a lot just to travel. You have to let the team know, his LVAD team, which is a left ventricular assistant device. We have to let the team know where we're going. We have to let TSA. So it's a lot of paperwork. But to get on virtual was exciting. It's almost like being there. I don't have to get dressed up because they can't see me. But it was an awesome virtual meeting. If I was able to get up, I could take the phone with me, where at the physical you can't. So we didn't miss anything. We had it on all that time, and it was so exciting to just participate virtually and to be involved and part of it, and to see our mentors go up on stage and talk, and that was very exciting. And so we got very excited. We were able to send a whole bunch of texts that day and the next day, and sending the videos out and inviting people. And I invited 3 ladies for the meeting that Wednesday, but one was not able to get on and one had to go to work. But I tried, but it was exciting. It was exciting to be them virtual. And the journey for this, I have really bad RA. I've had it for over 30 years. And I was going through a process of different eliminations of medical infusions. They were trying to fix me on because I was going on 65, where they put you on Medicare. And so you're not no longer on a regular insurance company when you worked. So then with insurance, I have to get a new one. They're trying to try all these medications before. I knew which one worked, but they didn't want to try that one. So they put me on 3 different kinds, and I was in so much pain. Even the touch of my skin was hurting. And I was praying to God that I need help, and I was praying and praying. All of a sudden, I got a phone call from Lisa saying, Hilda, I got something for you. I said, you know what? I believe you. I trust you. I said, I want to get on the highest thing, and we want to do this. And it took me a while. I mean, the first 3 weeks, it was like I was in pain, more pain, but I was trying, Rudy, it's the toxins coming out. I mean, I've been on it for 30 years. And so, I had our aid for 30 years, and to try this new patch, I kept saying, is this going to work? Is this going to work? But I kept saying, okay, the toxins are coming out. It's going to hurt, But then after the 4th week, I started feeling relief. And I just praised God that Lisa called. And I praised God that you talked to her. Sorry. Because it has helped me so much.
Oh, wow.
And I never get off of it.
Yes.
And I'm still going through a process, and I didn't want to cry. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. We're ladies here. We're allowed to cry. We're allowed to do whatever.
I'm a crybaby.
Get real.
So.
Get real.
And, but I just praise God that He heard me. And you talked to Lisa, and Lisa talked to me. And it's been a great journey. Yes.
Yeah.
And I just love it. And I'm just so glad that you listened to God and she listened to God, and God heard me.
Yeah, He did. He did.
Yeah.
And he hears us all. And so thank you so much for sharing, Hilda. And we know Hilda and Rudy for a number of years now, and they're just amazing people. The thing is we don't know who's hurting, right? So we have to just, when the name drops, we have to be the person. Thank you for sharing, Hilda. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
But when we have a name drop, we have to act on it, and we have to share, because why would we keep something so special a secret? I had no idea Hilda had terrible RA for 30 years,
Mhm.
you know, and you know, you expect the 30-year thing to disappear in a day or 3 days or a week. Takes time. Takes time. It didn't happen overnight, and so it's going to take some time. So I'm so glad you made the decision to keep going, Hilda, because you know some people just, it's too painful for them to continue and they give up. And they give up just before the miracle is about to happen. So grateful for you sharing. I appreciate you so much. And I did ask Denise if she wanted to unmute and share the difference between being there in person, and I see she just did. So Denise, the difference between being there in person and then being there, sitting and watching virtually, did it make a difference?
Yes. Hi, good afternoon. Yeah, it was amazing, like seeing so many people, like all kinds of people, short, tall, everybody, the excitement, the positive messages. You see that you can do this. It was amazing. I mean, when you're home, you're gathering the information, but you are just with you. You cannot share, take pictures, give a hug to the person. So it was really amazing to meet the people. I was saying, like, it's good to be out of this little square, that we see each other. And it was good to give a hug to the person. Like I met Joyce, I met Annette. So it was really nice.
Yes, and you took some of your team with you, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, they're pretty excited. They also,
And they are in fire, yeah.
they are. Yes, yes, that's great. Well, thank you, Denise. And you know, we love the fact that we can get together. So Steve and Gina, obviously their whole thing is to do that more often. But you know, they understand not everybody can get a flight ticket, book hotel and stuff. So they make it possible for people to actually watch virtually. And you get exactly the same information, but just a different atmosphere because you're watching on the screen, like Denise said. So we do have coming up the global convention. I don't, you know, that's not the important thing. I mean, if you got tickets and you're going to the global convention, that's great. But stay on the Sunday. Stay on the Sunday because this is a team, has their own meeting, and it's going to be amazing. And then there's all in January at the Eric Worre studio. And you definitely, for people who want to be there in person, I think they're almost selling out of those tickets because they can only have 500. And then everybody else is going to watch online, but it's going to be a great convention. So you do want to get your virtual ticket for that. And then Unstoppable next year, August in Orlando. Steve and Gina are shooting for 10,000. So we had about just over 4,000 at this last one, the next level, but they're shooting for 10,000. How many people do you want to bring? So put those in your calendar. Make sure that you prepare to be there in person at the Unstoppable, or if you can't because you're abroad, you can get the virtual. I don't know, Annette, did you have someone that was going to share today? Is there anybody that you wanted to call on?
I know that I think they're working. I see a couple people on. I don't know if they're actually available to. I don't know if Iwana can jump on. I mean, Linda is on if she wants to share kind of her experience of being at the conference for the very first time. She's on. Linda. She could probably come off and share what she was able to get out of it.
Or
you got to unmute yourself, Linda.
Did Dinah get a virtual?
She hasn't watched all yet.
Oh, she hasn't watched all yet. Okay.
No.
And that's the wonderful thing. So just let me interject there. So you could if you attended in person or if you purchased the virtual ticket, you got 45 days to watch. You should have received the link in your email. And if you did not get the virtual and you're feeling like left out, you can still go purchase the virtual. So that is an opportunity there. And I see Linda's available to join us.
I am. Thanks. Hi, my name is Linda, and I went to in Orlando to the convention, and it was just marvelous. I think the thing most that I took away from the convention is how how stable this company is and how much the company is doing for all of us who work for it. And I've been in other sort of types of companies that are by design, by marketing, by design, and it hasn't necessarily been that way. So there were a lot of people at the top that explained how they got into it, where they came from, and I thought, if they can do this, I can do it. So I got renewed and thinking about it and being more intensive in what I do regarding it. So I had a great time, and the last day, I have to tell you, was really phenomenal. It was basically a Sunday service, and there, out of 4,000 people, we thought, well, most of the people will leave. They've had the conference, what they came for, and they'll be gone. But there were at least 2,000 left, and 126 people gave their life to Jesus that day. I mean, and this all came from the people that are our leaders coming. They said, it's not us, it's God. So you're in this to help other people, and we're here. So it was really wonderful. Enjoyed it.
Yeah, and that's just it, In fact, if I don't know if you know, but Gina and Steve shared a testimony. Well, I know Dr. Dr. Randy's result is amazing. A healing, and thank God for that. And then Steve and Gina Merritt shared a testimony. One of the ladies from the team, her father was so ill and passing away in hospice, and I believe he even passed away on the Friday, and then he was revived or resuscitated somehow,
Oh
but
my goodness.
in his 90s, and his daughter had the virtual ticket, and she stayed in hospice with him and watched the event, watched the service on the Sunday, and her father gave his heart to Jesus on that Sunday,
Oh,
and passed away 1.5 hours later.
Oh my God.
So, there's so much more to what we are doing. So much more. We're touching lives at the very, very core, the soul, which lives for eternity. We can try and prolong our lives and age reversing and all that. And that's great. Have all the energy we want. But, there comes a time where we either in heaven or hell. There's eternity is going to be somewhere, and 90 some odd years and 1.5 hours prior, he was listening with his daughter. She had the event running in the room there at hospice, and thank God he's gone eternally. And if the Lord had to bring him back just for that was the reason, So thank you for that. We work with the most amazing team, Steve and Gina Merritt, and this is the team leaders. Their hearts are so much for the good of people in every way, on every level. And you may not believe the same as us or as them, but wherever you're at, there's something for everybody with what we have in our hands. And I just say, keep sharing, keep opening your mouth, because if you zip it, nobody's going to know about it, because that person, you might be the only person they could have told that person. You know what I mean? So we must not be afraid. I think it's Kerry Robinson that always says it, do it scared. Do it scared. Don't worry about what people are going to say. And if you get a no, that's fine. There's another person. So I don't know, are there questions in the chat? Because I also want to answer any questions that are in the chat.
I wouldn't mind sharing, like, real quick, just one of the things from the conference and being there and having quite a few people from my team there this time, which was super exciting. Like the community of this too, because I mean, I'm like full health, all the things that are healthy, and community is really super important for our health. Honestly, the dopamine hit, like all the things that happen in our bodies and stuff like that. But I literally had a couple of people, like they kind of didn't want to go home, because it just being able to be in a group of positive people that clearly care about everybody that's in the room, whether they're part of their team or directly or not. And then just that team spirit. COVID kind of made a lot of people become more reclusive and different things, but them being able to get out and realize that they're a part of something that's so much bigger than what it looks like even sitting here on the Zooms and stuff. But when you can get in these bigger meetings like this, to feel that we're part of something so much bigger. And I really saw that because, like I said, there was one of our friends that came from Michigan all the way down. He didn't want to go home. He's like, I really have enjoyed being with this group and having men around me to hang out with and talk commonality with and all the whole 9 yards. So that was really moving at the end of the weekend, to have that happen and be stated. So that was something else.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And it is about community, it is about community. And, people just don't feel that in the outside there, so we have that sense happening with our team, and it's beautiful. It's the serendipities, the outside of the sharing the patch and all of that, there come all these things, friendships. I mean, our friendship, and Denise and, all the wonderful people that we've met. If I start naming the names, I'm going to leave people out, even Jennifer Borrell, all the way in South Africa. I would not have known Jennifer if it wasn't for this opportunity. So amazing people come into our lives, and, just know that you're not alone. And yes, Denise is our Spanish. She does all her training in Spanish, and she has a big growing Spanish team. And I'm so grateful for her because we don't speak Spanish. But you know what? We interact with her team and we love on them, and we help where we can. And Denise, slowly, we're learning, poquito, poquito. We learn some Spanish. But I don't want to go too long. I see we're almost heading to the hour. I know that there's some people on here for the first time. Get back with the person that invited you. If you have any questions, and yes, is that Glenda? So good to have you on. It's been a while. So get back with the person that invited you, and whatever questions you have, ask them. If they can't help you, they'll point you in the right direction. But we are here to share what we know, what we've learned. It's changing the trajectory of people's lives, both for their health and for their wealth, as well as for their spiritual wellness. So all round, holistic, complete in every way. So bless you, ladies. We thank you for being on. And Annette, I'm going to ask you to close in prayer for all of us. If you do not believe the way that we do, and you say, hey, I don't pray to God, I want to jump off right now, you can do so. But otherwise, we're going to say goodbye. Next week, ladies, same time. Diana and Ken are on a cruise. That's why she's not here today, but she'll be back. But let's bring someone back with us. Let's not come here alone. Let's come here filled up, ready to share, to love on people, and to expand our community of wonderful women. So, Annette, if you want a closing prayer for us, that will be amazing.
Sure. Father, in Jesus' name, I thank you for this day. I thank you for each woman that's on this call, Father, and the teams and the people that they have out there to share with, Father. I pray that you give them the boldness to open their mouths and share, because there's so many of us out there that are looking for something, that need this. We need the community, we need the purpose, we need the health, Father. And I just thank you that you help us to be more bold, Father, that we are your hands and feet, Lord, out there sharing this and bringing people the things that they need, Father, financially too, Lord God. There's so much going on in this world. And there's nothing worse when you can't provide, or that you can't even have the money to do things healthy, Father, that we just give us that boldness to be able to speak every part of this out, Father, that you condition the hearts of those that are on our lists, Father, that are out there in and around us, Father, to open our mouths in those moments, Father, those God-given appointments that are out there. And I just thank you that you give us all of those God-given appointments, that you bring it across our path. We know this is the time and the place to share, and we do it, Lord, and that the fruit of it will show, Lord God. And I just thank you that as you bring us all back here next week with somebody new that we've shared this with during this week, that can learn, and that will be the next step and the next layer in this team building, in this business, Father, for each one of us, to build a legacy for our families, and in health and in wealth. And we just thank you for that. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, every one of you, for being here. And thank you, Hilda, for sharing, Denise, Annette for co-hosting, Linda, every single one that shared. We appreciate you. And we'll see you all next week. But there are meetings in between. Don't forget, tie in, stay engaged, and let's go to the top together.
Thank you.
Right?
And
Bye.
Good to have you on, everyone.